my clan, Dragonscion. there is no way you're not going to be able to do props without a certain amount of equipment. There's just no way around it. Like with woodwork, you're going to need your basic set of tools to properly do anything. Same thing goes with foam. Molding is a great tool, but once again, you still got to spend money to get the tools so you can mold, and then buy the mold making materials on top of that. So there's really no way to escape it without putting some money into it. It's just impossible. When you work with EVA foam, which in my opinion is an awesome way of doing it, it's lightweight, it's durable, and it's very crafter friendly. You're going to definitely need to buy yourself an X-Acto knife. You gotta buy yourself a Dremel with the wand attachment, and you gotta buy yourself a high temp hot glue gun. It has to be high temp. It cannot be medium temp. It cannot be low temp. High. Reason being, high temp glue guns give you a really good strong bond between foams. If you use anything else, it's not going to be that strong a bond, and it's going to break on you. Thank you so much, Room, for the for the follow. Welcome to the clan. You're now a proud Dragonscion. But yeah, you're going to have to plunk down some money, to get those things. So if money is tight, but I could say is look for a sale. There are places that sell discount tools. Be careful though of the discount tools that you get. You get what you pay for. You got some tools that'll last you for one project and that's it, and they'll break down after that or in the middle of that project. So definitely mind your P's and Q's when you are looking for a good deal. I know you live overseas in England, and I've forgotten the hardware stores out there and whatnot. But if you live in the area where it's hard to get to a hardware store, go online. You go to Home Depot online, go to Amazon online, and you can buy a Dremel. You can buy the wand. The wand by itself is like 30 bucks. And the model Dremel I have, it's a 10-speed one, a very variable 10-speed. This one was 70 bucks. But that was a while ago, so you can probably get a little bit cheaper now. This here is like almost a year old. But yeah, those are the four things you definitely need. There's just no way around it. I have different types of sanders. I have my Dremel. I have my belt sander right here. I got my mouse sander, which is down here in this pile of stuff. Here we go. My mouse sander. So, and each one does the same job, but in different ways. The Dremel is great when you want to do fine detail work. The mouse sander is for my in-between projects where I have to sand down a wider area, which I will use on parts of this blade. And then for the really big areas that has to be done, I use Big Daddy right there. But it takes time to acquire those tools. Like the Ryobi sander, that one was 119 bucks by itself. My mouse sander, that was cheaper. That was like 30 bucks. Not bad. But like I said, don't worry about trying to get everything all at once. Just make sure you do have your X-Acto knives, make sure you have your Dremel with your wand, and make sure you have your high temp hot glue gun. And from there, that's the core. You can get pretty far with those. Then after that, as far as materials go, make sure you have some type of sealer. I know some people will just do what's called flashing. They'll take their high temp, they'll take their heat gun and just blast it over it a couple of minutes on each side, and it kind of makes the pores close up. You can also use that to bend your foam too really well. But they'll do that to close up the pores, and then after that they'll go ahead and just start painting. That's cool. But if you're trying to get a shiny or metallic finish on your stuff, you need to seal it. There's no way around that. If you really want it to be shiny, if you're doing a blade, and you do not want that blade to be dull at all. You want to have some type of sheen to it, gleam to it. You're going to definitely want to seal it. And what I do is I would still flash it, because that helps. Then I'll paint the entire thing black. Whenever you work in metallic colors, painting it with black always helps. Do that first, and then on top of that, I'll actually clear coat the whole thing. Or if I have some rubberized undercoat, because that's a really strong rubberized spray, I'll spray that down instead of painting it. Wait till that cures, takes 24 hours to cure. Then I will go ahead and seal it up with a clear coat spray. Do like 2 coats on it. Then on top of that, once that is cured, I will go ahead and put down my actual metallic paint. It actually helps a lot to get that luster, that shine you want. And I will do a couple of coats. Do 1 coat, let it fully dry, buff it. Another coat, let it dry, buff it. I do that process about 3 to 4 times. It helps because you're building up that paint, you're building up that luster, to it. It definitely does help. And then on top of that, if I gotta do detail work, I'll break out my airbrush, which is right here, and I'll go ahead and do all my shadows and whatnot, my highlights with my airbrush. This actually is a new airbrush that I just recently bought over the weekend. It is made by a company called